Or that we don't fight a lot. But in the end, I think meeting Hal was one of the best things that ever happened to me. If I hadn't met Hal, there would be so many things I never would have learned. So many things I never would have believed could change. Things about music, my father, myself. Now my life has become so different that I can't imagine Hal not being in it. Arguing all night long, fighting in the rain, hopping the language barrier, leading a crazy conducting session, becoming musical legends even. I don't care what we're doing, as long as it's him and me, together. I really am bad at this whole feelings thing, else I would have said this a long time ago. I like that stubborn idiot. I really like him. Yeah, you're crying too. I've just been too much of a stubborn idiot myself to do anything about it. As the song draws to a close, I realize that I've forgotten to move my baton again. It won't help at this point, though. My eyes are so blurry that I can barely see the ensemble. Once drops of water start hitting the podium, I'm forced to admit that I'm crying. Applause fills the concert hall, and I can see the vague forms of the orchestra members standing for a bow. Hal turns towards me, crying out in surprise when he sees my face. I don't think twice about it, even though I should have. Before he can ask if I'm alright, I pull him down by the tie and kiss him. I really want there to be a picture of that. The concert hall goes as quiet as a morgue. The only sound is the clatter of the baton I dropped on the floor. He's blushing. As I back away, I can see Hal staring at me speechlessly. He opens his mouth and closes it, starts to shake his head, then stops. It's clear he has absolutely no idea what to do. He's so flabbergasted. Yeah. So cute. I don't either. So I take a deep breath, pick up the baton, and carefully place it back on the podium. Then I throw my head back and start laughing. That was worth it just to see the looks on all your faces. Hilarious. No one is laughing besides me, but I don't stop. Even the harsh, dissonant sound of my laughter is better than silence. Scherzoso. Thanks for the laugh. I needed it. No, he's still blushing. But even bothering to take my bow, I saunter off stage right. By next morning, our concert is front page of the arts and entertainment section. I guess I should be grateful for the free publicity. I'm not exactly thrilled. For one, the photo they chose is a quarter-page close-up of me kissing Hal. For two, they spend more of the article speculating on our relationship than talking about our music. Guess idle gossip sells more than actual reviews. Or else they thought it fit better with the Valentine's Day theme. Whatever. At least the rest of the orchestra is stoked we made the paper. Or so they say when they call me a little before noon, inviting me to an impromptu going-away party for Hal at the dim sum restaurant. Yeah, it probably would have been better to wait until you get off stage and then kiss him. I tell them that I have other plans for lunch. Then I sit in my apartment eating instant ramen for the next hour. Hal calls me too. He's been calling me since last night. I set his ringtone to silent after a while and go back to sleep. I don't wake up until late afternoon, when I'm certain everyone is on their way to the airport to see Hal off. Then, and only then, do I head back to the practice hall. As I knew it would be, the practice room is deserted. After gathering everything I'd left before the concert, I sit down at Hal's old desk, running my fingers absent-mindedly along the wood. If I close my eyes, I can still imagine Hal sitting beside me, hunched over another pile of scores. Now that everything is neat and empty, it doesn't feel like Hal's desk at all. Which, I guess, is the point. Hal is gone, and so is any last trace he was ever here. Well, except for two. Hal's twin picture frames are still hanging from the conductor's podium. Whether that's because Hal couldn't be bothered to come back for them or he genuinely forgot, I'm not sure. While I doubt he'd leave my father's picture behind, he probably couldn't wait to get rid of mine after the concert. I should have apologized for laughing at him. I've ignored him, yelled at him, fought with him. But I've never laughed at him before. Never told him it was just a joke. But even if I had been serious, nothing good would have come out of that either. Even if I had admitted my feelings earlier, even if Hal actually returned them, instead of just gaping at me in wordless horror, there would have been nothing we could have done about it. Now that I've screwed up everything between us, the only thing I want to do is make a clean break. It's better that way, for both of us. I repeat those words to myself over and over again until I almost believe them. Hal will go back to China. I'll go back to being my usual slacker self. A tempo. A tempo. That's how things should be. Things should return to normal. I should act like the last 2 months never even existed. Sighing, I walk over to the conductor's podium and pull down the pictures with Hal. Then I walk back and toss them in the trash bin by the desk. The pictures don't go in, though. They only hit the overflowing trash pile and bounce onto the floor. Ugh, get in the trash where you belong. Kneeling, I pick up the pictures and start shoving them back in. What's already in the trash, however, stops me short. The trash bin is full of reams and reams of paper, all of which are covered in Hal's meticulous handwriting. Most of the sheets are marred by crossouts and revisions in red pen. Some are scribbled out entirely. What surprises me most, however, is that everything has been painstakingly written and rewritten in English until every word is perfect. Once I start reading the papers more closely, I realize that they're different drafts of a speech that Hal was writing for me. Aww. A lot of the drafts are angry or scolding, which is what I would have expected from Hal. Why do you not answer your phone all day? Even if you're mad, you should talk to me. Your behavior is irresponsible, your stubbornness is irritating. But even more of the speeches are remorseful, as if Hal tried to think of every possible reason I might be avoiding him and apologize for them all. I'm sorry for carelessly injuring myself and not conducting properly. Sorry for performing your song without permission and not doing a better job. Sorry for bothering you by calling during the night. Sorry for my poor English, my poor understanding. For not finding your joke funny during the concert. I'm sorry that I did not laugh. I'm sorry that I did not understand the joke at all. Because it wasn't a joke. A few more are more direct. I even find one that's only a single line, which I can barely read, behind the pen marks crossing it out. I did not laugh because I wanted that kiss to be real. That's when I realized some of the speeches are confessions. I've liked you ever since you drew me that picture. I've liked you even before we met, when your father showed me your song and I begged him to show me more. I should have kissed you back. I should have kissed you first. Please come to China with me. Oh, God. I'll stay in America with you. He goes back and forth in different drafts, striking out lines here and adding them back there, tearing out bits and taping them back on, crumpling some sheets into wads and smoothing out others, despite all their wrinkles. I have no idea what he ultimately decided to say, if anything. As I check the trash can for more drafts, I find a much smaller slip of paper at the bottom. It's a receipt from a well-known music shop. One electric bass guitar. Wow, it's pricey too. But who in this orchestra would buy something like that? Oh my God, he bought it for Sono. Fuck.